Hello, my name is Trey Speaks, and in this video I'm going to be explaining to you guys exactly how Deku's powers directly reflect his growth in My Hero Academia. Who is Deku? Before Deku was, Deku, he was just little old Izuku Midoriya, an All Might super fan who had dreams of one day becoming a superhero just like his hero.
Fear not, citizens! Hope has arrived! Because I am here!
But unknown to Izuku, his idol had started off just like him, powerless, but one day would change his life forever, because after he runs in and saves his childhood bully Kachan from a villain, knowing he didn't have any powers, and knowing that him doing this might have costed him and Kachan's life, seeing all this made All Might decide that he was going to pass down his quirk one for all to Deku. And it was for good reason too. He was the only person there without any superpowers that rushed in to save him. And all these other superheroes are just sitting there not doing a thing? Like, what's the point of you niggas? You might as well go be a janitor.
This nigga is trash.
But just like his willingness to self-sacrifice everything to help out, it was equally just as much of a detriment to himself and his ability to be a proper leader, often breaking bones just to keep up with the peers around him, showing that his body wasn't ready for the responsibility, which in turn was a direct reflection just how mentally unprepared he was to be a true leader at this point in the story. Fast forward to the end of season 2, and Deku is faced with yet another stump in the road. After his fight with Shoto, he's on the verge of never being able to use his arms and legs again unless he figures something out. And figure something out he did. We see a couple episodes later that he finally figures out how to use One For All without hurting himself. And this method was a technique called full cowling. To explain it in simple terms, he envisions his body like an egg, and a key detail about eggs are that they're easy to break if you focus all your strength into one area, but if you try crushing an egg simply by wrapping your whole hand around it and squeezing it, it becomes a lot more difficult to crack. So instead of using 100% focus attacks, he dials it down to 5 to 20% all around his body, thus transitioning him from a glass cannon to actually being useful in a team setting. And by developing this solution, it shows his growth in learning patience, restraint, and strategy instead of the brute force he's been using prior. And then he proceeds to learn shoot style, because everyone was learning special moves and he needed one too. And even though in theory shoot style is a very basic fighting technique, it was very much needed in his growth as a hero and as a person because of two things. One, it allowed Deku to put more power into his moves while also creating less strain on his already damaged arms, making him even more durable and useful in any situation. And it was also a confidence booster because it was the first time in his career that he wasn't copying All Might, but he was making the power truly his own. These two steps in his journey showed his maturity levels rising, and now he isn't doing things out of desperation anymore. Now he's actually working through his problems and solving them. Throughout season 3 and 4, it is revealed to Deku that One For All is a lot more than just superhuman punches and kicks. Instead, it is revealed that the quirk holds all of the original quirks of the past users, which creates another puzzle that young Midoriya somehow has to figure out, with each quirk having its own unique experience that comes with it. Starting off with Black Whip, it is a quirk that allows the user to generate energy tendrils from their body, and it's a power based directly on emotion. And we know this because when Deku was getting rage baited by that blonde version with no badges, his power became uncontrollable. And I believe this power was perfect for Deku because it taught him how to control his anger during battle, because if he slips up, even for a moment, it can cause him harm and to his fellow heroes. Next quirk is Float. The quirk allows the user to levitate and suspend themselves in midair. It's mostly used as a transportation quirk, and if stockpiled by One For All, it allows the user to fly fast as shit. And Deku's mastery of this power was around the same time he went through his vigilante arc. Next is Fajin. It allows the user to stockpile kinetic energy through repetitive movements, and it is mainly used as a stockpile quirk. Smoke Screen is pretty self-explanatory. Danger Sense allows the user to sense danger, kind of like Spidey Sense, except it kind of hurts. Gear Shift allows the user to manipulate the speed of objects. All of these quirks highlights different emotions and mental shortcomings that Deku had to overcome in order to become proficient with all of them, because by themselves they're pretty buns, but paired together and used in different ways they become quite useful. Before Deku got his powers, he was frail, timid, and he was unwilling to solve his problems without brute force or hurting himself. But as he gained better control of his quirks and grew in power, his maturity levels and abilities as a leader began to rise too. One for All was created to represent legacy, responsibility, and selflessness, and just like All Might and the previous users before him, Deku directly mirrors all those principles too. And I truly believe that Deku's journey while discovering and mastering these powers was also a device to help show his self-growth journey too. With that being said, I thank anyone that stayed to the end of the video. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and if you made it to the end, type your favorite superhero down in the comments below to show you made it to the end of the video. And make sure to subscribe, or I'm gonna send 2 Thortas your way, bro.